I'm trying to give a very clear definition to a very few people, and then a very wide audience past that. Now that I'm at this version of 2020, here's what happens. Clear definitions, yeah? I am an ancient goddess. I am tuned genetically phenotype, right? My expressed phenotype, my recessed phenotype is strung like an instrument in a band, okay? The band is tuned into a science project, which would be the world just around my body. I call this, in some places I call it aquatic environment, but usually that could then be water. So it depends on who at Central Station I'm speaking to in dirty English and what philosophical and theological point we are trying to address for someone maybe in a different color skin, maybe somebody in a different climate environment, maybe somebody in a different political house or belief, that really the political ones, there's no such thing. That's a poor, educated, like spoken, broken, whatever, okay? We're in military for Goddess Nicole. Now, you get scared when I say the word military from your broken political, the poorly educated on how society actually works when it works. Because no society in your history has ever worked properly. So everything is political, meaning very little importance on whatever happened. There's no symbolic, there's no spoken, there's no leadership, there's no anything of significance. If there was a word plantation on a map, on a cartographer map, that then had a white owner, right? White owner, non-facially deformed owner on the map, and it had a melanin-rich skin worker, right, that the white man took care of in that relation, one point in space and time, of very little significance other than to say the attitude of the white person who was managing a large area project, right? He had, say, this particular unit, and then he had a district of units that he had to look over, and if there was a melanin-rich part of that, and the melanin-rich helped out because they were the experts in the soil-producing part of the gigantic project of district that they all worked together, if the word, the owner, say the white non-facially deformed owner, who was making sure that the melanin-rich experts on farming at that point, because that's what it's called, where they produce the food that brought then to the table, and what happens is you then divide it, you have enough to eat for your family, we have enough to eat for our family, and we have multiple families that we have to look over to make sure that they all have enough. So if your family doesn't have, if you produced a lot and say the far end of the district doesn't, would you be okay if we both shared part of ours, whatever, with that person so then they were able to eat? Are we good? Great. That's how plantation and district zoning is supposed to work. What happens is it's normally supposed to be monotone, supposed to be white on white, but you idiots in political importance keep insisting that you need to have melanin-rich people in your business. You need to have facially deformed people in your business. You need to have caramel people from wherever in your business. Now you want to add in religion. Now you want to have Muslims in your business. Now you want Christians, either Catholics, Protestants, I don't give a shit, in your business. Now you want, what else we got? Baptists in your business. Now you want to have, let's see, what else we got? Muslim, right? Yep, then we got, right, really nothing else important for significance with a word at the moment, because there's so many I could use and no point using too many. So now, how do you want to run the district when you tried out in history, to my behest as God, of immortal things watching over the planet, and told you that this is not going to work out right? Never in history has it ever worked out right. When you took on other colors and then try to be nice, it's going to like really damage things, because when you take on one color, all of a sudden the cascading effects from a white colorless God fruit of I could be anything at any place, anytime, inside the wall, walk outside of the wall, right? I have magical things that I do. So whatever it is that I am, I'm different than you. I don't mean to scare you, but here's the fucking truth. You have no history, because you're living in a moment, which will then, you'll reboot like a machine into another moment, into another moment, into another moment, and it will be some form of a linear where your face and your body, due to the breakage of the science, the aquatics that you're living in, are degrading and declassifying because of the spoken words to the organ, which is the aquatics, and the other spoken words about the other colors that are speaking about you in such a poor manner. Good, good. So, we told you at Nicklaus and Nicole Central Station of immortal gods being the only two in all of area, time, and space, that mixing black and mixing white that looks or could be construed as a family member in phenotype archistructure, right? You don't have to have a perfect nose, perfect hair, perfect facial features. Because here's what's happening at white skin, and then you can take this white example and use it in your pure melanin rich and then your pure caramel colors, because it's the exact same story. It's just I'm not addressing everybody every time. I'm going racially in perspective from my color to somebody else as if I was having a one-on-one, but it would be the same if anybody in the other two categories asked me. It's the equal answer. So here's the thing. You are broken in your science because my zodiac life programming of immortal status is broken at the moment. I have something called a design studio where we make the beautiful features and expression of them in different areas based on the behavioral patterns of the animal we call human. Currently, I can't make anything human beautiful, or very few of them, because the political climate is so poor, and they are breaking the science of the aquatic science system you call air, gravity, whatever, around the human. Tied to that, they keep making friends with the radically facially deformed that God has no friends in. I'm not friends with a Mandarin or a whatever. Anything facially deformed, dead. Dead to God. Because they are the specific problem with how my zodiac programming for life to keep you all safe and beautiful always gets broken. It starts off as a little crack, then it becomes bigger, 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 and then all of a sudden now we are in cascading effects that are so hard to reel back, because now they're up to using keys and keyboards, which they're not allowed to do because that moves their momentum faster, and they're just absolutely broken and evil. And I'm at the point where I'll just step through a hole at space and time, and I will never come back here, and then you will all die off extinct, and you will no longer live. That's where we're at. So your only friend in the entire God kingdom and God universe would be Nicole and Nicklaus, no matter what color you wear. No matter how much Asian you have in your color, we can deal with you. It is currently the white, radically facially deformed that has they have a large component of my colorless white in their genetic. which poses a threat and a problem for all area of everything, which is the biggest security concern with DEF CON, because this is deaf, right? You can't hear, they don't listen, and they're conning the system. They're conning the politicals, they're conning the business, the social, now the economics, and they're gaining momentum. And you always think that they're like the good classified, like, oh, they have ancient culture. No, they don't. They have no history with God as long as they stay where they are in their Mongoloid ID database, and they don't move out of territory, and they pay attention to us and listen to us, then they're allowed to live. Other than that, there's mass execution, and that's what I'm asking for at this point in time. They are reprogramming in America, being the 50 states, between the Pacific and the Atlantic Ocean, the 50 states. They are reprogramming the melanin rich. No longer is the melanin rich like myself, like respected, like Brendan. When we're together, we respect each other. And when we go out in public, we respect each other. We don't speak ill of one another when we're not in each other's presence. In America, all they do, all the other Brendans do, not Brendan in particular, he's safe, he's advanced civilization worthy and accepted. Thank God he has a Scottish last name, only way I could keep him safe in my database. But anyway, and I know that pissed off my high Westies, but get over it. I needed a whatever crossover between letters and zodiacs and skin color to have one tuned properly for an example that I could take to the end of the earth with me and whatever. And that would be Brendan. So I can't say the same for Celeste. First of all, I don't make comments on girls. End of story. So I only deal in XY chromosomes, and I'm the only XX in all of space, history, and time. Okay, so with that being said, right, if time, right, looked, if I give you an example of time, okay, and I say it looks like this. Time, I could take all of the blue, right, to organize time, I could take all of the blue and I could put them in a linear line. I could take all the pink, put them in a linear line. I could take all the purple and put it in a, I could do that. And I could schedule and order my time with my moving action robots like a Brendan, Putin, and Trump, right? There we go. Brendan is a nobody special like me. Like we just were born and whatever. We worked in real estate selling houses. No big deal.